program first. Hopefully by 12:30 or a little after, we'll have some food to pass around. So, will everyone please rise? And who? Let's see, is Chip here? Yeah. Oh, Chip, what song would you like us to play or to sing? Keep it short.
No speech. No speech. You can long and be long.
Yeah, right. I woke up this morning. Sorry, girl.
I can't hear him. I cannot hear him.
This is gonna be a beautiful day. And it's like, felt like home on the scroll page.
Okay.
Page 10. Daylight today makes it feel like it's home.
Okay, good. So we're going to say home on the shore?
Yeah, home. No. We're the deer, and we don't have any buffalo here.
Oyster.
We got a lot of bull.
Cheers!
Hey, he's doing this just for you. This is the intro.
Oh,
All day.
Well, everyone, please join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic and one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Please join in prayer or meditation as you please, as I say. Bless this food when we get it to our service and us to thy service. Amen. Now, I would like, please have a seat. We can on drinks. If anyone would like, yes.
Announcements.
Announcements.
Next time,
Exactly.
remember me.
Oh, okay, you got an announcement? All right, very good, very good. Oh, Maddie also has Stan has. We might as well just give away 2 announcements.
Ladies first.
So, ladies first. Maddie. May 28th.
At the Palace Theater from 6 p.m. and I have this flyer.
Great. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Here, why don't you just pass that around so people can see.
Yeah.
And
So please, every member of the club hopefully will come and support the project that we have been working on for the last 2 years.
okay, it's going to be in the Palace Theater. Who is Melinda? Is there going to be a presentation of
Yeah,
the tour itself?
Presentation of the tour itself.
Good. Great. This is I
The Sunday night.
I've had the pleasure of writing a couple of letters in support of local grants. One for Main Street's application to get money to build the visitor center down around the rail car down at Strawberry Street. I guess it's a little further down. But at any rate, And the other one for the Rosenwald School, which is looking for grant money, and it's really toward their capital campaign. The interesting thing about our tour, our walking tour, and I think it makes it particularly important and useful for visitors, is that it will begin right near that rail car. And it will take people in a nice big loop all the way to the Rosenwald School. And it's going to be even more significant because of the bicycle trail that's going to end at really close to that visitor center. And so it's just going to be kind of, for those who cycle into town, it's going to be just kind of a nice way to go to enter town, start at the visitor center, get their bearings, they can make a little loop around town, and then end at the end of the Rosenwald School. And I hope that for a lot of kids, eventually, it's going to do, a lot of parents and kids, it's going to do the same thing. So this really, I think, is a significant, could be a significant contribution to town. I hope that everyone is going to be there for the kickoff. I hope you will bring your spouses or significant others. And remember, it's at the 28th, what time?
2 to 6 p.m. and there will
2
be-
to 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
2 o'clock
Yeah,
until 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's a 4-hour presentation.
well, because we will have a reception.
Oh.
Presentation.
I see. Starting at 2 o'clock. And then wine, drink, and Yahoo, let's go take a walk around town. Okay. Sorry if I stretched that out too long, but who's got another announcement? Stan.
Thursday, don't forget, guys, we're gonna be painting the caboose Thursday. It's gonna be great weather. Can I get an idea of who's gonna be there? Everybody?
Yes.
Oh, right.
I'll be there, Stan.
So Thursday, 10 o'clock.
Tina will be,
All right, Tina, great, thank you, appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Tina.
And
Welcome.
see you Thursday, 10 o'clock. Let's get to painting.
Excellent.
I wanna make sure I have all the material.
Oh, wait a minute. Question from Jackie.
Yes,
Yes.
I want you to pass this around to all of the members who are here so that they can sign up for the social event that we are planning,
Okay.
if you have not.
I'll just start here and bring it around this way. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
yes, this summer, Jackie and I are having a 9-year-old guest. And,
For how long?
oh, well,
Sorry to hear that.
just for about 2 or 3 years.
That's okay. That's all right. This is good.
In the August timeframe, I'm getting a jump on it. I'd like to borrow a bicycle. 24-inch would be the ideal size. So if you have access already, Randy,
Boys or girls?
boy, it's a boy that's visiting, but you know, a bike is a bike, got 2 wheels. So we'll take whatever you get, Randy. Thank you. Do you have a helmet?
Yes, I have a helmet. If you got it.
Okay.
So you're
Yeah, Jim's got the helmet. Okay. Thank you.
very welcome. All right. Here we go.
I
Yes.
just
Oh,
want
I'm
to
sorry.
mention, nobody's asked me yet, which surprises me, but I think the calendar is July 4th is a Tuesday. So whatever that Friday is before July 4th will be our day for crash cake making. That's only a couple months out.
Very good.
So whatever, that's probably the 30th of June, give or take it maybe.
Okay. Okay. So at any rate, the Friday before 4th of July, mark it on your calendar.
And June is selling month.
And June will be the selling month.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got to start selling around June 1st.
Okay.
Friday is the 30th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Let me put it in now. We need another mixer.
Mix.
That we used to mix the egg, because the last time that we did it, I think Wayne said that it leaked.
Oh, okay.
And then before that, even, so we're gonna need another mix.
You mean a big boat?
No,
the
blender,
Electric blender.
blender.
Oh,
I'm going across
Yeah.
Wednesday, I'll go stop at Restaurant Depot, pour and buy one,
What should I do with the old one?
throw it away.
Okay.
Give it to Wayne.
Yeah.
I'll take the engine motor.
All right, you never know, and I wonder how this is gonna come in handy. All right, any other announcements? How about happy dogs? Who's happy today? Stan.
I have 10 happy dollars.
Whoa, this is something.
Major.
Yeah, well, it's my grandson, 15. He spent 10 days in Italy with his soccer team.
Oh.
They played a semi-pro team and they visited a few stadiums and he came back last night. Probably early this morning.
Safe and sound.
Yeah,
Did he like it?
I haven't spoken with him yet, but I'm sure he did. He called me yes, Sunday. And he said he was doing well.
Usually opens their eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so who else? Who else is happy
I
dog?
got 5 happy dollars. In the month of March, there's a group that Rusty Gates and I and Bill Murphy are involved in, Northampton Social Ministry. We handled 12 cases in July. We saved people from 5 evictions, avoided 1 tax sale. We kept people with electricity in their homes, 3 cases, and propane for 2 cases. It was a total of 12 adults and 13 children. This is the Northampton Social Ministry. And if anybody wants to participate, talk to Rusty or me or Bill.
That's wonderful. Is that typical one?
It's high now, but okay. There's several cases every month.
All right, other happy dogs. Yes, Mr.
I
Brown.
want to add, I was going to do Tim when he's 25. I had like the social ministry's been around a long time. I've had a lot of good volunteers. I'm glad to hear these guys are picking the helm because it does change. That's one of the hardest parts about these organizations is people get old, they get sensitive, they die off, whatever it is. So not to project anything. And speaking, I was in a lot of health issues in the club. I'm very blessed. I had my 6-month blood work and I think every metric was good. Every metric, except the brainwave activity.
We knew that.
And how many?
I was 25.
25. Well, thank you very much. Jim.
$5. I ordered a Ford truck, 2021. That came Wednesday. Have to say, would you mind, dear, if I borrow your car?
Was it a 2021 car? What year was the truck that they sent you?
They sent me a 2023.
Okay. Is it out of the garage?
Yeah.
Out in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
wait, we
so-
want to see that. I want to take a picture.
Everybody go.
Got a $10 happiness for the Marshall family. And 5 is because I heard that Mark was really sick. And I learned today that he's sick, but not as sick. And it's not as bad as well. I'm happy about that. Happy we didn't call him. And this is happy, but not so happy. But his mother, who was my next door neighbor, finally moved into her house after struggling.
Finally.
Yeah, 2.5 years of fighting with a builder. She moved into her home.
Oh, my heavens.
Yeah,
Oh, my heavens. Oh, that is great.
so I'm happy for her. This is literally-
That's one of the reasons that Mark got ill.
But we lost the best neighbor we ever had. His mother's super.
Okay.
She was the baker.
Yes.
And, she would bring us something big every holiday.
In a little box.
By the way, Mark suffered a seizure literally minutes after last Tuesday's meeting here. But he's okay. And as the father of someone who has had seizures, I can tell you it's alarming, but it can also be controlled by medication. And more than likely, this is judging only by my son's experience, there'll probably be a 6-month period when Mark can't drive, isn't allowed to drive. And then after that, as long as he's on the medication, he's gonna be fine. He'll grow up to be strong, young and strong. But at any rate, it could have been worse. Fortunately, he was just sitting in his truck. He was not driving at the time. And Rachel was right there with him. So he didn't hit anything, whatever. Apparently just stopped in mid-sentence. So please keep him in your prayers. I would like to throw $10 in, and this is sort of in the hope. Oh, I'm sorry, wait, did I? Okay, well, and 10, you're next, and then $10 because my daughter's getting married. I won't be here next Tuesday because the Hindu ceremonies, wedding ceremonies, begin on Wednesday, the day after. So I'll miss next Tuesday, and then Wednesday it starts, and then Thursday we have more, but we also change towns, venues, and then we have 2.5 days of parties and more ceremonies.
Ching.
This will be my last happy dog. To give you an idea of what's going on in the family, Sunday night, the groom learned that he could not find his social security card. And without it, he could not get a marriage license.
Really?
On Monday, the bride found out that the requirement for a social security card is only in Dorchester County, South Carolina, not Maryland, where they're a little more enlightened. No card is needed. So the groom's heart is back in place, and to the best of my knowledge, he is still going to marry my daughter.
Even.
Okay. So, and you've got a big happy dollar to put in. And actually, I'm going to match whatever you put in.
Well, I
because
don't
you
know.
did such a good job.
No, I wasn't, I think, I was gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay. Well, we will, right?
We will, okay.
Okay.
So mine is only $5 because I've been waiting for more than a year to redo my kitchen and it started yesterday. Miserable for 10 weeks.
I won't be so bad.
I hope everyone is aware of the very good news that the plastic competition that Libby was kind enough to organize ended successfully. How many pounds were collected?
Well, we were like about 539 pounds altogether.
That's great. Goal was 500.
Yeah.
And so Cape Charles Christian School will receive its new and improved recycled plastic bench. And bravo. Because I said I was going to match, I'm going to put an extra $10 in behalf of Libby. So thank you very much. I'm just flirting because so it is now time for me, I believe, to wait a minute. We will come back to the cards. I would like to turn the floor over to a very brave Rotarian. Not everyone likes to speak in public, and even fewer people like to speak in public with about 3 minutes notice. So please welcome Jerry Harris, our new member. He's gonna tell us. Before you go get pizza, please talk for at least 20 minutes. I'll be right back. When I'm saying lunch. It's great to be here. Thanks to Chip and Dave, who are my neighbors from Bay Creek. They introduced me to the Rotary and invited me to come to some of the meetings. So I came and really enjoyed meeting a lot of you and being a part of this group. It's good to be part of the community group. But to give a little bit of background, I don't have an interesting background on jumping out of airplanes and a parachute, but I'll tell you a little bit about my background. My wife and I moved here in August from Asheville, North Carolina. So we went from the elevation of about 2,500 feet to about 500. A little bit difference there in the air. But really enjoy this area, and I'll tell you a little bit about we got here. But way back, I grew up in Toledo, Ohio. Anybody ever heard of Toledo?
Yeah, been there.
Been there. John Denver sang a song about Toledo. Yes. Saturday night in Toledo, Ohio is like being nowhere at all. So that's.
Here's the other one that says, here's the girl from Toledo, Ohio. I spent a week there one day. Have you heard that?
Yeah. So they nailed it. Yeah, suburb of Detroit, really. But went to college in Ohio and majored in broadcasting journalism. So when I got out of college, one of my dream jobs, so I got my dream job at a TV station in Ohio. It's an ABC station, and did TV news there and anchored the weekend news. And I thought, wow, this is exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And I was right where I wanted to be, and someday I'll be a Walter Cronkite or something. Well, after a couple of years of doing that, it's not the glamour job that everybody thinks it is. And I saw all these guys that were always at the station and had these suits on, and they were attorneys that were checking over our news stories to make sure we weren't committing any libel or slander or something. And I thought, oh, that sounds kind of like an interesting thing. So I went to law school. And with the idea that, okay, I get out of law school, I've got this background in media and TV. So I found this, it's a law firm that specialized in communications law in Raleigh, North Carolina. And they did a lot of work with TV stations, radio stations, cable TV companies, and that kind of thing. And I thought, this is exactly what I want to do. Well, a couple of years into that, I said, I'm not sure I want to do this for the rest of my life. And it was interesting because the firm not only represented these media companies, but they also represented a lot of healthcare groups and lobbied for these healthcare groups at the state legislature in Raleigh, but also up in Washington. So I kind of hooked on to some of the partners in the firm that did that. And I thought, well, this sounds kind of interesting. Maybe I'll try that. And it turned out that one of those clients was a trade association, represented healthcare groups, and they were looking for an executive director and general counsel. So left the law firm and went there. So if you're counting careers, I think I'm about at 3 now. So I worked with this trade association for a number of years and lobbied for that at the state legislature, also up in Washington. Very interesting group. It represented mainly home health agencies, hospices, long-term care facilities. So you get into a lot of very interesting issues with them. So year number 3, after doing that for a number of years, I thought, well, what am I going to do next? And I decided at that point, really needed to figure out what I was going to do with my life. So I did one of those outward bound trips up in Montana, where you spend 2 weeks out in the wilderness and you do these solo trips out there. And I decided, I really want to be somewhere in the mountains, somewhere anywhere in the mountains. So I moved to Asheville, North Carolina, and that's where I met my wife. And I got a job there with a group of hospitals that they weren't commonly owned. They were all independent, nonprofit organizations. But they formed this network to do some things collaboratively together. So things like group purchasing, so they could buy supplies in bulk and get them a lot cheaper, or some quality initiatives. One of the things we did there was really interesting. It was a problem that a lot of hospitals face is that somebody comes in and looks into the room, they have no idea about their background or, their medications they're on or what kind of maybe the next of kin. So we developed this system where all the hospitals could share their information with one another. So if you would walk into the ER and you were lying on a stretcher, they can immediately, just by looking at your driver's license, they can dig into this database and find out anything about your background, your history, your medications. One of the things that was interesting when we were setting this up and doing some initial kind of tests of the system, we found that there was this set of patients, these individuals, that all of a sudden they end up at the ER in hospital A, and then next day they hospital B, and then a couple of days later, C. Oxycontin, they're all kind of shooting for that. So while the system wasn't designed for that, we found that was a great way to kind of control this, because otherwise these emergency rooms, they were just pain. So it really brought that to so career number 4. So now I'm saying, okay, well, what do I do after this? So then I joined one of the hospitals that was part of the system and became a chief operating officer. And it was really over their post-acute services. So things like skilled nursing facility, home health, hospice, outpatient therapy, adult daycare, all those kind of services. And did that for 8 years, and then decided to retire just a couple of years ago. And that's when my wife and I started to think, we had a daughter while we were in Asheville. She is now at the point where she was graduating from Chapel Hill, and we were empty nesters and trying to decide, well, what do we do next? So we started looking at places. My wife really wanted, she grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. She wanted to really move somewhere back closer to ocean, the bay, or any body of water. So we started looking along the North Carolina coast. We didn't see anything there that we liked. So what do? You start Googling. And we Googled and we found Cape Charles. Never heard of it, had never been here. And we came up, visit, and explored a little bit. It was like, that looks like a nice community. And then we found Bay Creek, and we liked that. So we bought some property there and started building a house. So the house was completed just last July. We moved here in August. So we think we've made a whole journey. So I think 5 different careers, and finally ending up in our place where it really feels like home for us, and especially with groups like this. So I don't have anything like jumping out of planes, but that's where I started, where I headed.
You're jumping out of jobs.
So trying to figure out what I want to do without her. Yeah.
Glad to have you, Gary.
Yeah.
This station.
I have to find some.
That's a bad
Chuck, have they sold that house yet?
Okay, take over, Mark.
Sold that steakhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yours.
Mark's got a lot of things.
We have another non-lawyer speaker here. About lawyers, he says, everybody like that, doesn't have to go.
He's got a happy dollar.
Yeah.
He's got happy dollars.
I thought about it.
Can't hear you.
I said,
Thank you.
I thought about it over the 5 minutes it took me to get here from town hall, and I've got 20 happy dollars.
Because you got out of there alive.
You know what they got? $10 is because I survived as of now, the longest recorded Board of Zoning Appeals meeting in town history. So I was able to get out of that alive.
The other $10 is I now have a greater respect for attorneys, even though I am more confused than ever by them. Listening for 2.5 hours to a rousing debate over something called the law of perpetuities and what constitutes an easement versus an entitlement, vested command, all these other legal concepts. You know, that I wonder if you guys really understand. But the result of all that, I just thought, boy, I can't wait to get the Rotary Meeting and let them have it. Inside, I do have quite a respect for people that actually do that every day with the enthusiasm that these guys do this morning. So anyway, I'm happy to survive it and not a lawyer. Thank you all, and you know. I should have said that. This is the good part. The result is we had to table the final decision pending yet another lawyer for the town giving us a certain legal definition of several items. So after all that noise and thunder, we still tabled it. Anyway, it was good. Thank you all.
Good side, it's on someone's docket somewhere.
Thanks. Probably social services. Given award in 2 years, they're not eligible. And usually we require an eviction notice or a copy of notice. So if they're don't send them out to the army, you send them out.
Sounds.
So you put one on there.
Good, good.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 4 more to come in. But,
4 more.
are we paused? Is this a community time? Ladies and gentlemen, finally, the buffet is open. There are 4 more pizzas coming. Good. Cheese and chicken.
And on top of that,
Yes, not eating.
Bill, what should we do?
The whole kitchen.
Oh, you skipped lunch today.
All right, folks, are you then, is the blood sugar level so low that no one's getting in line? We also. Well, I always say that. So, you gotta clean up.
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry, Stan.
Yeah.
Instruction from
Jackie.
This is our second time.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait a minute, wait.
We're doing this.
That's high.
So we got a file.
It's a sleeper on it.
Yeah.
This is my house. Next to the car. Next time we need to make the official deck. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
I've got to have it.
You can get one too. It's two diamonds there. Okay, is there anything else? Thank you all for your good nature and patience with my cooking. And with everyone, please rise for the. It is the truth. It is very well concerned. Stand number 5.
We have fun.
Yeah. Going service.